Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your geography lesson for this week. Now, before we begin, I would like you to reflect back on last week's learning. Can you remember some geographical features of a city and a town? You can pause the video and describe them to someone in your household. Were you able to do that? Fantastic. So here's a little task for you. Have a look at the photographs below. Which one do you think is a photograph of a city, and which one do you think is a photograph of a town? You can use what you know about the geographical features to decide. Were you able to do that? Fantastic. Well, thank you for telling me. The first one is a photograph of a town, and the other one is a photograph of a city. Fantastic. So let's move on and have a look at your star words for this week. My turn, your turn, my turn first. Aerial view, town, city, country, similarities, differences. Your learning question today is: can I identify geographical similarities and differences through studying the human and physical geography of a small area of the United Kingdom? Your steps to success are to identify features of a town or a city, and to identify similarities and differences through studying the human and physical geography of a small area of the United Kingdom in order to say if it is a city, a town, village, coastal or rural area. Today, we're going to talk about aerial views. Do you remember last half term that we discussed about it? What is an aerial view? Do you remember? Fantastic, you're absolutely right. An aerial view is a picture taken from above. Now, I'd like you to have a look at some pictures, especially the photograph below, and see what has it captured. Do you think this is a town or a city? And can you explain your thinking? So can you explain why you think it's a town or a city? You can pause the video and discuss with someone in your household. Were you able to do that? Fantastic. Well, let's reflect back on last week's learning and remind ourselves what rural areas are. These areas are not towns or cities. They are often farming areas. These areas are sometimes called the country or the countryside. People who live in the country often live in small villages, but they might also live somewhere where there are no other houses nearby. So look at these photographs of the countryside and describe what can you see. Can you identify some of the features of the country? You can pause the video now. Were you able to identify some features? Fantastic, well done. So let's have a look now at what a town is and remind ourselves. A town is an area with streets, houses and buildings that is larger than a village, but usually smaller than a city. Now look at the photographs of a town. Can you describe what you can see? You can pause the video now. Did you do that? Fantastic. Let's reflect on what a city is and remind ourselves. A city is a place where many people live closely together. City life has many benefits. Cities bring together a great variety of people from different backgrounds. They offer more jobs, more schools, and more kinds of activities than smaller towns and villages. Have a look at these photographs of a city. What can you see? You can pause the video now and discuss with someone in your household. Were you able to do that? Fantastic. So now that we reminded ourselves what a city, a town, and a rural area is, let's explore. So we're going to watch the video on BBC to find more about the similarities and differences between the country, a town, and the city. Are you ready? Fantastic. So
beings have developed all sorts of settlements or communities. Some big, some small, some close together, and some far apart. Pretty much every settlement, no matter how extraordinary or ordinary it is, can be classified as a city, a town, or a village. But what makes these places different? This is Ava. She's going to help us discover more about villages. Villages are small settlements with a small number of houses for a few hundred people. Most villages are found in the countryside and may be surrounded by farms where food is produced and sold to people in towns and cities. Some villages have a few shops. And there may be a place of worship, like a church. And there's usually a school. Thanks, Ava. It was great exploring Saintfield with you. This is Sam, and he's in a town. Hi, Sam. A town is a larger settlement than a village. More people live in a town, normally a couple of thousand. So they need more homes and more shops. You might even find some leisure facilities. And often a town hall. There are places of worship, and of course, towns have schools too. Thanks, Sam, for helping us explore Bangor. Now to our biggest settlement, a city. And here's Isabel to help us with this one. Hi, Isabel. Cities are the largest kind of settlements and often have millions of people living in them. All those people have to live somewhere, so you'll find lots of different kinds of homes. Some people live in houses, others in flats or apartments. Cities usually have a lot to offer. Shops, leisure facilities, restaurants, cinemas, museums, places of worship. Many have a cathedral, like this one. And of course, you're never far from a school in a city. Thanks, Isabel, for showing us around Belfast. It's not just the people that live in cities, towns or villages that get to enjoy what each place has to offer. Roads, railways and pathways connect them all, so people from villages can easily get to a city to shop, and people who live in towns can easily get out to the countryside.
So did you enjoy watching that video and learn all about the city, the countryside and the town? Fantastic. Were you able to spot any similarities? So that means things are there the same. And any differences? That means things that are different between a city, a town and a village. Fantastic. So your task today is to look at pictures of a city, a town and the countryside. Can you identify the similarities and differences between them? You can discuss with someone in your household, and you can write the similarities and differences down in your home learning book. Remember to take a picture and send that to your class teacher. Your challenge today is to complete a local survey. Have a look and count how many benches or traffic lights you can find in your local area or your local park. Well done, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's geography lesson, and I will see you next time. Bye.